Uzbekistan is a landlocked country in Central Asia, has undergone strong economic development in recent years, going from being an unknown country to an unavoidable destination for many tourists. Since 2016, something has changed, making the country one of the best and cheapest destinations for tourists today. In fact, even many investors and successful people are choosing Uzbekistan as their country of choice to spend their lives, or even just for a leisure and wellness trip at a truly incredible price. With an easily accessible geographic location, the historic cities offer delicious food, and the lifestyle allows many young people to spend great evenings in the company of locals. Explore the historic cities, art and shopping, especially for the truly competitive prices. Uzbekistan has produced a vast collection of artifacts, treasures of applied arts, traditional music and dress, handwritten books and monumental architecture. Today, this heritage inspires modern artists and people all over the world. While today the country is completely transformed, its future plans are even greater than we think. Uzbekistan underwent a series of significant changes between 2016 and 2023, thanks to President Shavkat Mirziyoyev coming to power in September 2016. During this period, the country underwent numerous political, economic and social reforms to open the country to the outside world and improve the living conditions of its citizens. President Mirziyoyev sought to open the country to international dialogue and took steps to improve relations with other countries. This has led to improved relations with the European Union, the United States, and other international actors. In terms of human rights, there has also been a major transformation that has reduced political repression. All this led to an increase in the economy in order to attract foreign investment. Because although the country had a strong position in the cotton sector, it decided to expand into other sectors, such as tourism and agriculture. And it is the ever-growing tourism that is allowing the country to grow even more. The number of tourists from the previous year to the present has completely tripled, both because of the wonderful experiences the country offers and because of the very low cost of living that allows any person with any kind of economic means to visit the country. But not only that, the country relies on its vast cultural heritage to attract more tourists. Cities such as Samarkand, Bukhara and Khiva are often referred to as Pearls of the Orient for their majestic architecture and well-preserved historical monuments. Some of the most famous sites include the Registan in Samarkand, the old city of Bukhara and the walled city of Khiva. These places offer the beauty of an open-air museum thanks to their extraordinary architecture. Uzbek architecture is characterized by majestic minarets, intricate mosaics, imposing domes and splendid mausoleums. The Madrasa of Ulugh Beg in Samarkand, the Great Mosque in Bukhara, and the Mausoleum of Ismail Samani are just some of the architectural wonders to be seen in the country. The tall minarets often rise above historical cities and are decorated with ceramic mosaics and tiles. Besides serving a religious function, these minarets add a touch of grandeur to the city. In recent decades, Uzbekistan has invested in the reconstruction and restoration of its historical monuments to preserve them and make them accessible to visitors. This effort has helped to keep alive the beauty and grandeur of the architecture of the past. In fact, many of the historical sites have been recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Sites for their cultural and historical importance. Besides architecture, the country has many other positive aspects. The cuisine is another aspect of the country's culture worth exploring. Food in Uzbekistan is generally cheap and delicious. One of Uzbekistan's most iconic dishes is pilaf, a dish made of rice, meat, vegetables and spices. In a local restaurant, a plate of pilaf can cost between $5 and $7 per person. Other traditional dishes such as mante or samsa are equally affordable, as are accommodations that vary in price depending on quality and location. The lively Chorsu food market stands out for its color and cheerfulness, where you can come into contact with the warm hospitality of a people who are always welcoming. and let yourself be tempted by exotic tastes, such as the honey stalls. Uzbekistan's honey is born in the foothills of majestic mountains and in desert steppes and valleys. In the country, there are around 300 days of sunshine a year, and ideal conditions of humidity and air purity to produce one of the purest and tastiest natural honeys in the world. Every Uzbek meal begins with various kinds of salads and traditional bread, followed by a soup such as borscht, and ending with the main course, almost always meat. Meals may be accompanied by a glass of what they call mojito, a refreshing juice of water, ice, lemon, sugar and mint. Desserts and sweets include dried fruits, apricots, sultanas, peaches, melon and figs. Nuts and almonds, which often make up chak-chak, a dessert made with small pieces of dough that are fried and then held together with honey and decorated with nuts. In locale restaurants, the guest is usually always seated in the place of honor, furthest away from the entrance as a sign of respect and a sense of protection, because any hassle and danger would fall on the host first and the guest last. The best time to visit Uzbekistan is from April to November. In the hottest season, which runs here from May to October, temperatures easily exceed 30 degrees, even touching 45 degrees in July and August. Visiting the country in March might be a good idea if you want to observe closely and take part in the Navruz celebrations, the national holiday celebrating a symbolic beginning of the year in the east and coinciding with the spring equinox. Major cities such as Tashkent, Samarkand and Bukhara offer a range of options, from cheap accommodation in hostels to luxury hotel rooms. A double room can cost between $20 and $50 per night. However, cheaper accommodation can be found in hostels or guest houses. Instead, the cost of excursions and guided tours can vary considerably depending on the itinerary and level of comfort. A one-day guided tour to Samarkand or Bukhara might cost around $50 per person, but cheaper options can be found. Transport, on the other hand, is generally inexpensive. Public transport tickets, such as buses and metros, are cheap. Taxis are also affordable, but it is important to set the price in advance or use official taxi services. Transport such as taxis is especially useful at night. In major cities such as Tashkent, bars, restaurants and nightclubs can be found. The cost of alcoholic beverages may vary, but is usually lower than in many Western cities. In many places, traditional music incorporates instruments such as the dutar, a type of lute, tambur, a variant of the frame drum, and ney, a reed flute. Musical performances often accompany cultural and social events, with people often coming from other countries. Dance is an essential element in celebrations and festivals. Traditional dances such as lazgi and suzanda are performed in colorful costumes and depict scenes of everyday life or mythological themes. These dances are often an integral part of wedding celebrations and festivals. Weddings are significant events involving numerous traditions and ceremonies. The festivities include dancing, singing and rituals. In fact, during the ceremony, blessings and gifts are exchanged between the bride and groom and their families. Besides weddings, the country hosts numerous festivals and fairs, for example, the Navruz Bayram, which is a spring festival celebrating the spring equinox and includes dancing, singing and traditional food. The combination of all these positive aspects is greatly influencing the interest of investors and successful people. Indeed, economic reforms aimed at liberalizing the economy and attracting foreign investment are attracting entrepreneurs and investors. Uzbekistan is seeking to become a trade and investment hub in the region, offering opportunities in the energy, infrastructure and technology sectors. It is also investing in modernizing infrastructure, including airports, roads, railways and tourism services. These improvements make traveling in the country easier and enhance the experience of tourists. The government recognizes the importance of providing high-quality tourism services to meet the needs of foreign visitors. There have been improvements in hotel services, restaurants, guided tours and transport, all of which have made the country more welcoming. In summary, Uzbekistan is making significant efforts to promote tourism and attract investment, making the most of its culture, history and strategic geographical location in Central Asia. These efforts are bearing fruit, and the aim is to attract foreign direct investment, the attention of major international companies, and the experience of young managers and specialists from the West.